Hello there and welcome to Autistic Radio. We're making a recording in the short introduction series with Autscape, an organisation we've been telling you about it for some time now. We support Autscape because it's an entirely autistic organisation, and they have managed to create a very popular conference here in the UK. For our international listeners, they also have an online element. And it's the online element that we're interested in today. Can I ask the people from Autscape why the online element is important to the Autscape organisation?
Yes, hi, my name is Martijn Dekker. I'm the Vice Chair and Acting Chair of the Autscape organisation, which organises Autscape. And the online version of the conference started in the pandemic. We were quite set in our ways. We started in 2005, so we've been going for quite a while. Organizing an in-person conference. It's been quite international from the beginning, actually. For instance, Heta, who's also here, has been involved since the beginning, and she's from Finland, and I'm from the Netherlands. We had this wonderful autistic conference year after year since 2005, and then the pandemic happened in 2020, and we were forced to go online. We had been wanting to go online for probably about a decade, and then the pandemic forced us. And we learned the hard way how to do an online conference. We decided to keep that after life went kind of more or less back to normal. For a while, we tried to have the real life event and the online component at the same time, but that was spreading our resources too thin. Then, as of last year, actually, we have a separate online event, and that's been working very well. Last year's online Autscape has been very successful, with hundreds of people attending and some very high quality presenters. A fully fledged, self-contained online event, right? This year's online Autscape promises to be even better. I'm incredibly proud of our lineup of presenters this year, and we'll have a social space on Discord, and we'll do the presentations on Zoom 3 days long, and the program is absolutely packed. So yeah, I'm very proud of it.
I feel that it's about accessibility. We want to create autistic space, and as a charity, the organization wants to bring the benefits to as many autistic people as possible. And obviously, not everyone can afford to go to the residential conference, although we try to keep it the cost as low as possible. Not everyone can travel for various reasons. To extend that community and maintain that contact with people, I feel we just have to be online. And also, the world in general now is online on the internet. Everybody for everything has some kind of an online element. I do wish that we could also solve the problems with the main event, not sort of disrupt the flow and the organizing at the venue. We could still provide some connection. I have, on a couple of years, worked on providing a little bit of connection. I think people are often happy, even if they just receive that little bit, that they have that sense of being in touch with the main event as well.
Thanks, Heta and Martin. It sounds very welcoming, it sounds very inclusive and tries to cover all bases. And that's great because there's a lot of places that don't. So it's good to know that the work and the effort is there to do so, even though there will be challenges and teething problems, especially when you're doing an event which is both in person and online.
For us, there seems to be such a synergy between what we've been doing for the last few years and what the online event is. We agree with you that accessibility is where it's at. And sometimes the online spaces that happen out there through Facebook or the other platforms don't feel quite as accessible. Having Autscape creating a safe space that's online as an online conference feels like something the whole community should get behind.
I find that autistic people are tremendously divided in terms of what platforms we prefer. there are some who are totally at home on Facebook and cannot handle any other online platform very easily. And there are others who are on LinkedIn or X or Mastodon and Blue Sky, and they all have their reasons. And it's very, very hard to bring them onto any one platform. At the online event now, we have certain technical solutions, and inevitably they will be easy for some of the audience and difficult for some others, and they will completely exclude some who just cannot cope. And then, of course, there's the general atmosphere and the people's fear of conflict and of being frankly attacked in some environments. As we try to provide a moderated one, and we feel we have to provide a moderated environment as an organization.
I can totally understand and agree that there will be division on what platform to use, particularly when you're talking about the likes of social media, because social media is a very volatile place. Sometimes even within fellow autistic, talk to another autistic person, depending on what you're talking about. But also just the way that social media just has people attacking for the sake of doing so. So it feels very unsafe. I was trying to find that kind of common ground, that safe space for people. And that's what I like about Autscape.
Yeah, what Heta said is absolutely right. This is the reason why Autscape provides a moderated environment during the entire conference. So Autscape also considers it very, very important to respect people's autonomy. Yeah, we try to keep a pretty hands-off approach to moderation until things actually go wrong, and we try to empower people to manage themselves as much as possible, as opposed to managing everything for them. The general ethos of Autscape is that that everyone who attends is autonomous, and if you do need care support, you're expected to bring your own. We can't provide it. And in practice, we actually find that this works remarkably well. By respecting people's autonomy, people just mostly rise to the occasion and manage themselves and each other quite well. Autistic people are a great deal more capable in this aspect than many neurotypical parents or professionals might think. Of course, being people, sometimes there are problems, and sometimes there are problems that are quite upsetting, but then we deal with them. It's important to strike that balance between safety and respecting people's autonomy, because sometimes those two can be at odds with each other a little bit.
Yes, in the instructions for participants, it says something about you're not safe from hearing opinions that you don't like. We don't try to censor anyone, not provide safety in the sense that people might not become anxious about hearing something they disagree with. Yeah. But then the volunteers or the moderators there to make sure that people remain respectful, that there are no personal attacks or outright aggression. And I think that's important for many who do not like to go to those completely unmoderated social media spaces, or maybe spaces that are moderated by people who they don't find entirely safe. I myself find social media frankly not accessible to myself. So I guess my guideline in this is trying to create something, where I'm welcome, my daughters are welcome, my friends are welcome, some of whom are a bit more sensitive and would not enjoy any space with a constant conflict.
So I know, listener, that the reason that you follow us here at Autistic Radio is because you're looking for a safe space. And because it's audio, you can skip the things that make you feel uncomfortable. I'm encouraging you now to think also about the possibility of joining the online Autscape experience. It's a little bit more involved from what we hear than listening to us here at Autistic Radio. You might feel as though it's a little bit more exposing, but what I hear from Heta and Martijn is the attempt to create a space where there is equity in the communication. And as you know, equity in the communication is what we're here for at Autistic Radio. Tell us where to get the tickets, tell us the prices, and welcome people in.
Absolutely, I can do that. My name's Martijn, by the way, just to be sure. Rhymes with design. It's a Dutch name. So anyway, yes, go to autscape.org/2026/online, and there is all your information. That's the short version of it. The theme, evolving autistic space online. So we're going to talk about how to make a better autistic space and have lots of presentations connected to that theme and some that are not at all. From Friday the 6th to Sunday the 8th of February 2020, Zoom for the presentations and Discord for the social space. We're going to send you the links shortly before the event starts. You'll see a link to the schedule page, a neatly organized list of presentations and events. Because it's international, that page will allow you to switch your time zone, and the schedule will automatically update to your local time. We have a really packed program. Our featured presenter is Kate Fox of BBC Radio 4 fame and Glastonbury Festival fame, among other things. And she's a stand-up poet and spoken word artist and broadcaster. She is going to run a creative writing session for us all, graciously volunteered the time to do that, titled Radical Self-Acceptance Through Creative Writing and Reading.
Jules, you said something about people being more exposed when participating in Autscape. I'd like to make clear that you don't have to be. It is possible to interact, but it's also possible to participate in online Autscape without showing your face, without showing your real name. You can just sit there and listen. You can go to Discord and read what others say, and you can use a pseudonym. You don't even have to show your name. So you can be as hidden as you like. The prices, we've tried to keep it accessible, knowing that one of the obstacles in autistic people's lives is often unemployment, underemployment, poverty. So the standard rate for adults is £40. The low income rate is £20. We don't require evidence. It's up to people to decide. And then there was a professional rate of £75 and a youth rate for 13 to 17 of £10.
This is absolutely important that to know that at Autscape, absolutely nothing is obligatory. We don't ever require or force any participation. But of course, participation is always very welcome. Thank you.
And of course, you can find Autistic Radio at Autscape this year. We have a 30-minute slot.
We have reserved that brief slot for a discussion workshop. So you will introduce the concept of Backstage as a safe autistic space, and ask for feedback from the audience on how to develop that concept and that service further.
Thank you, Heta. So, listener, you have the opportunity to join an additional autistic space through Autscape online in a few days' time. Let's see you there. Let's join with the other community and experience Autscape as a safe autistic space created by autistic people, just like Autistic Radio.
Well, that's the beauty of the short introductions to podcasts that we make. An introduction to somebody with something to say about autism, and that includes you. It's very easy to make a recording with us. We might publish 10 minutes or we might publish 30 minutes. It's about your relationship to autism, whether you're a professional, a carer, or somebody with autism, an autistic person of autistic identity. And let's make a recording together so that you can join and expand upon the conversation around autism.